So good morning, this is Ken with the gang at the Swing Trading Workshop, December 2nd, 2018. So this is a quick review of this new prototype note-taking tool to help us focus on swing target framing. And my current spider sense is that our swing trading sometimes takes place looking at monthly charts, weekly charts, dailies, 2-hour charts, or as quick as 30-minute charts. If it's less than 30-minute charts, then it's clearly day trading. Under certain circumstances, a 30-minute or a 2-hour chart also supports day trading that's being conducted at a very slow pace. So the 2-hour and the 30-minute charts give us a hybrid between day trading and swing trading, and sometimes those can help us frame the details of the early days of a swing trade, or as we're stalking the exits. So I like to think about those. You know, there's 4 30-minute bars in a 2-hour bar. There's 4 2-hour segments in a daily bar. There's 5 days in a week and 4 or 5 weeks in a month. So there's a certain fractal relationship of 3 or 4 to 1 between these different time frames. So we can think of this as an extension of that regression line fractal framework idea, where patterns replicate at lower and lower levels. So we're looking at these things through a common lens, and the lenses that we're going to use, my current practice is to start with the 4 seasons of the MACD to get a sense of proper strategy making and direction and expectations that have different targets and ideas to look at in the winter or the spring or the summer or the fall. And that's becoming such a powerful interpretive framework that if I only had one scheme to use to begin my assessments, I start with that. So that's the first layer of the onion, if you will. I then think that pinch and stretch gives me a sense of the dynamic life cycle of price action for this particular target. And so pinch and stretch in all those time frames, I want a sense of, are we inhaling or exhaling in terms of volatility and directionality? Is this the pause between breathing in and breathing out, the natural respiratory pause, like a Z3 pinch? So how far does this thing stretch from pinched conditions? If it's already stretched, where is it next going to run into support or resistance to pinch again, so I can start visualizing where this trade could go to under different scenarios. The next layer for me is the regression line crossover framework. That's the basic P1 through P7 first generation, and then looking at things like owls and collapsing dragons in the second generation. So that's a more detailed implementation of the sense-making features. You know, the MACD histogram 4 seasons is a simplification of that. So the RLCO is the fine-tuning framework. Regression line fractal framework is the next thing that I would look at in terms of rapidly estimating easily framed trades that have already stretched, where I'm trying to estimate where it could go to. Now I'm using regression lines to help me make those estimates of fair value and current price based on different time frames from 10 period to 270 period look back. That same fractal sensibility is what is expressed on the top of this chart on the monthly, weekly, daily, 2-hour and 30 minutes. So that may not be perfectly fractal in terms of ratios, but it's close enough for government work. I would then finish up with specific price levels on support and resistance, where price behavior left marks in the snow, and I can study the behavior characteristics of this herd animal that I'm stalking and all the people that are driving price around. Where did they make their state changes? Support and resistance are where there was a handoff between the bulls and the bears, where they came to grips and fought it out in that space. That price has some kind of animal magnetic attraction and has some power of expectations, because other people are looking at it, so I need to look at it to estimate what they might do and then set up my scenarios. So if I had 5 lenses with which to start looking at naked price action, starting with the simplest one, I think, you know, MACD is where I would go, then getting a sense of the dynamic pinch and stretch, RLCO framework for detailed work, regression line fractals for rapid estimation of potential forward scenarios, and then SNR to kind of pinpoint key price levels. That gets back to it kind of a simple. So start simple, get expansive, and then get back to simple. And then I placed in the bottom section a place for notes on the monthly. Not a lot of room to put in there because I got plenty of time to sort that out, and over to a month I'll be looking at this target 20 or 30 times, and it won't change that much. So I don't need much room to make a quick notation about anything interesting on the monthly. And really for the weekly, for that matter, more room for the daily, because that to me is sort of the center of mass for most of the discussions on swing trading. Not just because it's like that for me, but because most times when you read books on swing trading, people are looking at daily charts, so I should look through the lens of the animal that I'm stalking. You know, a good killer has empathy with the target, so you got to learn their behavior patterns in order to efficiently destroy them. For the good of the team, you got to feed the tribe. You know, that's, everybody has their place in the food chain. And then the 2 hour and the 30 minutes for refinements. That sounded kind of cold-blooded, but you know, sometimes we have that in life. Then I have a place for notes here for the MACD. So if I'm looking for themes across the place, I have a place to take some notes for that lens, and as well as I have a place for notes for the vertical integration of monthly insights I might put down in the lower row, and then comments for the lens across the top. Let me pause there.